Hi, Matt Stait again from the Festival of Martial Arts. And today I've got with me Tibi. Hi, Tibi, how are you?
Hi, very well, thank you.
Thank you so much for agreeing to come onto the festival and for speaking with me today. So I start these the same way. Can you give us an overview of who you are and what you do for those that may not have heard of you?
My name is Tibi Moravcik. Originally, I'm from Slovakia. However, I live here in the Canning, Tunbridge Wells for 17 years. I'm doing martial arts all my life, more than 37 years. I'm also working as a doorman for 18 years. And I start with karate and in kickboxing. What I'm champion of my country in both. I used to be also a member of national team. I'm doing Wing Chun for more than 20 years, Qigong, Iling Chuan, and also I'm doing Systema. And not just Systema, but also Cossack tradition, because Systema based on Cossack tradition. You know, Cossacks now they're no like the dancer, but there was also very good warriors.
Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, because that's something that's a lot of people don't really know, myself included. I mean, I've seen the dancers, the ones you said, but I really don't know that much about their martial warrior history. So could you tell us a little bit about that? Because Systema is, my understanding was that it was a Russian system.
Yeah, it's Russian, but it's also Ukrainian. It based on the Cossacks, and Cossacks was like a community of people. It was like nation in nation, and there was warriors. There was riding on the horse. There was very good horse riders, and there used to live mostly in that part where is today a war in the Donbass between Caspic and the Black Sea. And yeah, I think that in their culture there survive a lot of from our pre-Christian Vedic tradition. So before Christianity comes to our Indo-European civilization, we used to be a branch of Vedic culture. So there survive lots of this knowledge, or this very interesting. And their martial art is a little bit different than Asian martial arts. So I'm glad that I found it, and it's very click with, for example, with Wing Chun. It based on liquid quality, such that we don't resist with flow. So if somebody punch me, sort of, for example, I don't resist like a karateka, but I accept it and then I flow. So flow, relax, efficiency is the key. And then when Cossack was suppressed in the revolution in USSR, beginning of previous century, 1917-ish, there was suppressed, and there was teaching specialists of the USSR army, and there create Systema. So Systema is like an army system using mostly for special forces. However, it's based on the Cossack tradition.
Okay, yeah, I didn't know all of that. That's really interesting. So, so you say you started in karate, is that right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, and that was back in Slovakia.
That was back in Slovakia. It was when I was 12 years old boy. Now this year I will have 50 years, and yeah, I was since then martial arts is my love. But next to martial arts, I'm also dancer. I'm also massage therapist, and generally I'm studied at how to be more healthy and more efficient.
Yeah, no, that's great. So the karate then, how long did you do karate for?
For 17 years.
That's a long time. Yeah, that's a long time to do something. Yeah. So then you moved into Wing Chun, did you say?
Yes.
Yeah.
Parallel with karate, I was doing also kickboxing. It was Goju-ryu karate, and then I started to do Wing Chun. It was Ip Man Leungting branch, and my Sifu here in the UK is Andrew Cameron.
Okay, yeah. And how did you find that transition from the Goju karate into the Wing Chun world? Did you find it similar, or were there differences?
On the beginning, I thought there is a similarity, but then I realized that Wing Chun is more softer, and it's focused more to adapt according opponents than rather change opponent. So it was a little bit a different philosophy, and I realized that this is my path, that I want to be able to adapt as much as I can, and this is my philosophy in self-defense: be adaptable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. And so that it's interesting when you now sort of moved into Systema. How did you find that, and what brought that to you?
To be honest, I was watching for a couple of years. I was watching for Systema videos, especially with Vladimir Vasiliev, and it was very close to my natural, because that Wing Chun which I was doing was very relaxed and very flow with, very, like, as Bruce Lee said, be water, my friend. So the philosophy was close to me, and I see that the Systema master are very relaxed, and all the system is very flow. And once I asked myself, like, okay, come on, Tibi, how many years you want to watch the video, or you leave your ass and you're going and you visit the seminar and you will see how is it. So I bought the ticket to the first Vladimir Vasiliev seminar. It was in Belgium that time, and I visit seminar. And since that time, I started to Systema, and parallelly I was doing Systema and Wing Chun. And it was a couple of years. I didn't know what to call it, a Systema or Wing Chun, so I call it Smart Defense. And now I call it more Systema, but I'm still doing Wing Chun. I like everything. What is the best from Wing Chun? I'm using the principles. I'm still following principles of Wing Chun. And also, what was good in the karate and kickboxing, I'm using. It's not that I stopped to do what I used to do. I just do it different way. So my Wing Chun is even more relaxed than it was before, especially in the real fight. Systema is teaching how to cope with stress, how to be relaxed even in the real fight, what is quite difficult.
Okay, so I'd like to ask you a little bit about Systema, if I may, because it's one of those arts that is misunderstood a lot, and a lot of people see it and perhaps don't quite understand the principles behind it, or why things are done the way that they are. So when people see it, they often don't quite understand what's happening. So is there a way that you can sort of explain that to us so that it makes a bit more sense?
Yeah, so many times people are not watching, people are watching for any training method where it's training one aspect. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it is not a confrontation, or is not application. It's a training for STEM quality. Systema, if I simplify it, there is 4 main principles. First principle is be relaxed as much as you can. So if you are able to do a job with less energy, with less effort, less muscles work, that means that you are more efficient. It's very understandable. Second principle is flow. Flow with have a liquid body and also liquid mind. Here I would like to notice that I would like to say that Systema is, we are in present, we are not thinking. There is not plan that if he does this, I do this, and if he does this, I do this. It is like just being present and let react the body, let react subconscious, or let react intuitive. Our body naturally is much quicker than our mind. If mind is involved, usually just make it slower, and the movement is not so accurate. Then is a principle: breathe all the time. Breathe. We have tendency to suppress our breathing system, and now we we're breathing through everything, and we are striking with inhale, with exhale. It doesn't matter, because breathing is not related to movements. We separate movements and breathing would bring us a lot of freedom. And then the fourth, the principle is keep the structure, and the structure is defined not in the Systema but in Cossack tradition by fire, by inner fire. So we visualize that the fire lift me up, and gravitation pull me down, and we are actually like this. We are pulled between two forces. So we are not soft, because power can be making by contraction, or power can be also made in pulling. Yeah, and this is also build up tensegrity. So our body don't need to be build up just in the pressure, like when bricks by bricks we build up the house, but it can be, we can hold our body mass in pull, in our tendons, in fascia, and in muscles, and then it looks like this, like tensegrity. So therefore the Systema warriors are straight, and fire always bring us to balance position. What is very interesting, because if this is my body and somebody start to push me, most of people start to push against. But if they push against and the force randomly gone, they fall down. But if somebody push me and I am pushing to the sky and I'm flowing to the sky, I always going to balance position. So it looks very differently than Asian martial arts, especially this inner fire aspect is make the difference. Also, the methodic is different. There is not any technique. There is not form. There is just these principles, and everything works according to the principles. Therefore, I can all Wing Chun put under umbrella of Systema, and I can use every principles of Wing Chun. Plus, I can apply principles of Systema. So Systema means, if we translate from Russian language to English, the system. And especially for me personally, I'm open-minded, and I'm I try analyze every principles which going across movements from any martial arts, and define the principles, and everything was working. Every principle which is working, I apply into my martial arts.
Okay, great. I think one of the interesting things that you sent me was the video link with you and Bradley Cooper, the MMA fighter.
Yeah.
And I think for anyone that's interested in that, it's really worth watching, because it really did help to explain some of the principles that you just talked about in a way that can actually make sense, and you can see it physically in the moment. So that was actually a really interesting video. I appreciate you sending that to me. And for anyone interested, I recommend having a watch. It does answer a lot of questions. Now, one of the other things that you're aiming to do at the festival itself is to bring your machine there, Pravilo, is it?
Pravilo.
Pravilo. Again, I apologize. It's the first time I've ever heard it said out loud, and I really don't know anything about that, and I'm sure a lot of the people listening don't either. So, could you tell us a little bit about what that is and what it does?
Yeah, Pravilo comes from the Cossack tradition, because across all universe actually going two powers. One is expanding power, and one is condensing. And Cossacks warrior or Systema warrior want to be expand. Yeah, so it's like, and with expansion is going different emotion. So for example, with the condensation of the power, somebody who's condensed has a tendency to have a fear. Yeah, so fear and stress is actually the condensing power, and happiness or be curious, it's expanding. There is emotion which is expanding emotion, and it's so Pravilo expand us, and is also the most holistic stretching. It's something unbelievable. So far, everybody would try it, and it doesn't matter if it's a martial artist or professional dancers or chiropractics. everybody say, wow, because it stretch all myofascial tracts across all body. It looks a little bit like a rack, but the philosophy is used not to torture, but to heal. Pravilo, in my language, I'm Slovak originally, opraviť means correct something, or napraviť, or adjust. So it's actually corrector of our body, and is very good for heal backache. I heal my hips. I had a big problem with hips. Doctors told that there's not other option, just hip replacement, and I'm healing it, and it is much better because of the Pravilo. It decompress the spine like nothing else, and most holistic stretching. So if I'm hanging like this, but horizontal, yeah. So this is my body, and one corner is going there, one there, and pull me heavy limbs to different directions. So it expand the body and also bend body, and then if somebody turn, it stretch 360 from every direction, and it is such lovely feeling that I would like to share with my colleague, other martial artists, because it can help them to be healthy and more relaxed. It also get rid of undesirable tension and make us happy. So I hope that if I present it between visitors of festival, that some people will like it, and who like it, I can help him to set up. It's my aim to spread it between people, because I see how people walking on the street, or also doing like sports, that they're quite squeezed and condensed, and have lots of undesirable tension, which cause a lot of problems for us.
Yeah, no, it sounds really, really interesting. I'm very curious to see how that works for myself, because I've not seen that before. So the video again that I thought was really, really interesting, and as you say, it looks like some kind of medieval torture device. But the fact that the way you sort of described that again, with the different dynamics of the tension and everything, it sounds intriguing. So looking forward to that. So in the meantime, between now and then, if people want to get in touch with you, how can they find you?
People can find me on my website, and is systema.tb.com. That's website about martial arts. Then about Pravilo, about the stretching machine, is pravilo.org. And then I made a website which is veda.one, which is more for heavy movements, and is also for physio, where I analyze every aspects of movements and try to find the principles and bring the methodic how to develop these aspects. I live in Tunbridge Wells, so who is around is more than welcome to join my class. I'm also running a class in London, and yeah, who want to contact me can contact me also to mobile message number.
Yeah, if you'd like.
Yeah. 07788 53 82 72. Call me, and yeah, we can meet up. I can show you the Pravilo, or we can training together. I'm also open to meet any martial artists and make like brainstorming without, to be honest, without confrontation. I'm not interested about any fight or something, but we can share the methodic. I'm like fed up of fight, you know. After 18 years on the door, I have enough fight. And
yeah, oh, absolutely, yeah. I mean, that's essentially what the festival about, is a lot of like-minded people coming together and sharing experiences and knowledge. Yeah, it's not confrontational at all, and we don't want any of that whatsoever. So I'll put the links in the comments for the video itself, so that people can follow those through. And thank you ever so much for coming and chatting today. And we look forward to seeing you at the festival.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to see you and all my colleagues. I hope that I find lots of new friends, and yeah, see you soon.